A month ago, Todd Phillips' Joker hit theaters, and it took the world by storm. In the last 30 days, the movie has pulled in over $900 million, and it is likely to pull in a billion worldwide. And I believe that I'm not the only one to look at that and go, wait, what, really? A $65 million movie that's based around Batman's arch nemesis is going to pull in more money worldwide, already did pull in more money worldwide than Justice League. Although if they would have released a Snyder cut, I'm sure it would have cleared a billion. That's just me. But one of the other things that come out of that, outside of the absolute utter fear mongering from the movie press, was Martin Scorsese. Scorsese, not necessarily related to Joker, but just because Irishman's coming out, he started going on this massive anti-Marvel tirade. He started going out there saying that the movies were a plague and that they're not cinema and that they're theme park rides, which I would argue that in that last one he's probably more accurate than not. But it felt very dismissive. It felt very, I don't know, mean-spirited, right? And even he got Francis Ford Coppola to come out and beat his chest and go, they're deplorable. They're deplorable. Like, basically, I'm like, all right, you guys are old. I get it. You're old schoolers in the game. I get it. Bob Iger comes over and says, well, they can bitch if they want, and that's fine. But I think now we found out why. I think I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, why is Martin Scorsese all of a sudden coming out and ragging on Marvel movies? Right? He just got $175 million to do The Irishman for Netflix. He would have never gotten this money and the ability to make this movie the way that he wants to make it by going to any other studio out there. So what's he doing talking crap about like alternative forms of entertainment? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I get in the essence that he wants to protect cinema. He thinks that it's a dying breed, and to be fair, it kind of is. Indie films aren't getting as much play, but let's be realistic. There's as much crap as there is good, probably more crap than good when it comes to indie films, and even studio release films are the same way. Cinema is altering, it's changing. The landscape has changed, and this dude who's in his 70s is stuck in that place of not quite understanding it, I think. But that's not why he was talking shit about Marvel movies. That's not why he was attacking them. This article popped up yesterday in IndieWire. Martin Scorsese considered making Joker for 4 years, but couldn't crack the comic book story. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? You hypocritical punk. You're telling me that Scorsese spent 4 years considering doing this movie, but couldn't crack it. And because he can't crack it, he comes out and starts attacking the industry as a whole, that particular side of genre filmmaking as a whole. But notice how he attacked Marvel movies. He didn't say anything about DC movies. He attacked Marvel movies, which I find to be quite fascinating. Now, this is what he says in the interview. He says, I know the film very well, Scorsese said about the Joker. I know director Todd Phillips very well. My producer, Emma Tillinger-Koskoff, produced it. I thought about it a lot over the last 4 years and decided that I did not have the time for it. It was personal reasons why I didn't get involved, but I know the script very well. It has real energy, and Joaquin, you have remarkable work. Then he also added that another reason he was turned off by Joker was the film's inevitable narrative arc. The Joker script finds a downtrodden clown for hire and failed stand-up comedian named Arthur Fleck, transforming into the Joker supervillain after embracing violent acts and upending authority. Scorsese appears to be interested in Arthur's life, but not Joker's. Going on here to say that for me, ultimately, I don't know if I make the next step into this character developing into a comic book character. You follow? He develops into an abstraction. It doesn't mean bad art. It's just not for me. The superhero films, as I've said, are another art form. They're not easy to make. There's a lot of very talented people doing good work, and a lot of young people really, really enjoy them, which is also a far cry from the words he was using recently. He's amended his words. He's walked them back a bit. But now we basically have the truth. He couldn't do it. He couldn't crack the story, a story that I'm really trying to rack my brain around this. 4 years ago, or he spent 4 years deciding. And I'm assuming that's before Warner's greenlit the Joker movie, and they greenlit the Joker movie in 2017. So back in 2013 to 2017, he was mulling over doing this movie. That Warner Brothers back then wanted to do a standalone Joker film, and it's possible that that was the case because they were still building up. Man of Steel came out in 2013. At that Comic-Con, they announced Batman v Superman with Ben Affleck playing Batman, and then they cast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And it's possible at the time they were working on that idea of a standalone Joker movie, and they went to Marty Scorsese, and he couldn't crack it. And I view his comments now, knowing that information, because he came on as a producer for Joker, okay? When it was originally announced, it was going to be inspired by Scorsese films with Scorsese as a producer on the movie. And then he silently kind of left the project. His lashing out at comic book movies are a result of his own failure to be able to work within the genre. That's what it is. That's what it is to me. He is embarrassed that he was not able to crack the story. He, I believe, is potentially jealous that he wasn't able to crack the story in the way that he wanted, and that he couldn't bring himself to do it. And he sees how successful they are, and he sees all of these things that filmmakers around the world see, and they get jealous of. Even people like Marty Scorsese is going to get jealous. So he attacks and attacks and attacks and attacks and attacks until there's pushback. And then he starts walking that back a little bit. But you can tell that there's a jealousy factor there. You can tell that Scorsese feels like he failed. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So no, I don't feel bad for him. I mean, in any capacity, I would never feel bad for Martin Scorsese outside of that his name's attached to Hugo, which was a terrible movie. But I wouldn't feel bad for him. But I can kind of understand where he's coming from. But I believe this is what he's getting at. He couldn't crack the code. So he attacks comic movies. He attacks the artists making them. He attacks the people that design them, that create them, that craft them. And in essence, he attacks the people that love them. Even though he says, and a lot of young people really, really enjoy them. It's not just young people. A lot of old people like him too. But Scorsese, Coppola, they're all from a different time. They're all from a different time, and they probably never thought these movies would ever take off the way that they did. And he probably laments the situation Todd Phillips making this movie when he could have made this movie, and then he could be in the running for Best Director and $1 billion R-rated movie and cement himself in that category for the rest of time. So jealousy, regret. It's a fair assessment. And I think deep down, I'm right. But I'll leave it to you. Your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. They should be interesting. If you made it this far, go ahead and type in Joker in the chat so I know you guys made it. And also, while you're at it, smash that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell like you're angry at your mom. Just, took away your toy. I don't know. That was a bad joke. Like you're angry at getting a traffic ticket. And I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. And peace out. This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo.